I do get nasty. Welcome to the Wonderland Effect. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here, thank you for being A1 since day one. I do have a special guest, and I'm going to go ahead and let him take it away and give his intro. But before we do that, as always, I would like you guys to comment, share, subscribe, because the channel is nothing without you. Thank you for being here. Let's go ahead and take it away.
What's up, you guys? So I go by Coach Branden Henderson, coach. I am a certified trainer. I am also an online coach, and I work with people on their health, their wellness, helping people mental health, lose body fat, build muscle, build strength. I've been doing that for about 13 years now, and it's been a wonderful journey. It's been a blessing, and God has been nothing but good in my journey of helping people, and, you know, it's something that I enjoy genuinely and passionately. So
I love that.
Yeah.
So we were kind of talking off camera already, but
Yeah.
how do you help someone, speaking about myself, help someone that is in a funk in life, like giving every excuse in the book to not get back into the gym or get into the gym to start their fitness journey? How would you approach this?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I am a faith-driven man. So everything that I do is rooted in Christ and in God. So I'm always going to be emphasizing that foundation. And, you know, God has been good to me to allow me to work with people who are also alike in that mindset. So I don't feel like I'm overstepping my boundaries. You know, some people have different forms of religion and faith, but I always start there. I always remember and recognize that God is the epicenter of my universe, of my life. And I remind people who I work with that you have to keep God at the forefront. You have to understand that God's faith, God's confidence, all of that has to be in the center of what you're doing. And people tend to forget for some reason when they're trying to lose weight or when they're trying to get healthy that God's right there. He can help you through it. So I always remind people, keep God at the head, keep God at the forefront, and just remember that the only way through it is, you know, to continue to go through it.
Through it,
you know?
yes.
And people try to find corners to cut and shortcuts, but God always says, walk through it. I'm developing you as a person, developing you, your character. I'm trying to get some things out of you. I think I just stress those things and go from there. Everybody's unique and everybody's different. So you kind of just tailor it accordingly.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think right now I've had a lot of success. So I will attribute that to, you know, being blessed, because that's what I always say. I'm always extremely blessed.
Yeah.
I've given myself way too much excuse time. Like, and I'm literally there because before I got to this point that I feel like I reached, I just recently got promoted and I was super happy about it. But I wouldn't have got there without God. And I always say that. I'm not necessarily religious, but I am spiritual. Yeah. And I do believe that everything happens for a reason. But it's gotten to a point where I'm using, you know, transitions of life as a crutch. Like, I'm like, okay, I don't need to go to the gym today. Yeah. But beforehand, like, I was like zoned in. Like, I knew my purpose behind it wasn't just to get my body in shape, my mental, like, embrace the discipline that came with it. Like, and I mean to the T. Like, I was on a super lean protein diet where it was like, not necessarily that they wrote it down and I just was following it. I just eliminated carbs and sugars as much as I could. Yeah. And it made me happy. It made me mentally clear. Now I'm over here unhappy, depressed, and I just don't know when I'm going to get out of it. I kind of have to pull my own self out of it. Yeah. And I used to look for other people, you know, to find that hand up. And I don't know if you've heard similar stories, but it's like at some point you kind of just got to get tired of your own stuff. Like you got to get tired of being complacent and being where you're at. And right now I'm tired. Like, I am tired. So I've given myself like clear goals and clear deadlines. Like, on this date, we're going to start. We're going to give it this amount of time, and I need to do a check-in. Yeah. Because that's the way my mind works. Right. what would you recommend, like anybody who wants to start their fitness journey, how would you recommend they start it?
Well, I think it's going to sound redundant, but establishing that why is very important. But I don't think people understand what a why truly is, and it has so many different branches that you can touch on. And when you have a why, you have to get really, really deep and in depth with why you want to do it. And a lot of it is surface level stuff. It's the common, popular stuff. Oh, I want to get my stomach down, or I want to lose this amount of weight. What I'm challenging and encouraging people to do is go deeper.
Yeah.
Go deeper. That's not enough depth, because the second that you go look in that mirror and you're not going to look like how you want to look like the next day, you're going to be defeated, you're going to be unencouraged, and you're not going to be motivated. So I encourage people, establish a why. That's your foundation. Is it your kids? Do you want to continue the cycle of your family? Are people in your family constantly getting sick, constantly dying? And I'll get into their feelings. I'll get into their emotions. And sometimes I've seen people cry. I've seen people get really, really emotionally distraught. But I think that's a great thing, because it's touching areas that really can be the engine. It can be the anchor to you reaching that level, reaching that point where you say, you know what, like you said, I'm tired. I want to make a change. I want something better for me, for my family, for my kids of the future, whatever that looks like. And I just tell people that you've got to spend some time really touching on those things. You have to get uncomfortable and you have to confront things head on.
Yeah.
And you can't continue to run from them, because you got to that place. You didn't get there overnight. You got there over time, and it was a series of habits, patterns. Who knows? It might extend back to your childhood. You never know, but you have to confront it. And I think once you address the hard stuff, because my saying is, do hard things, easier life.
Yep.
And when you do that, I think you can really see the growth process begin to have life. And from there, it's only up,
So can I ask you, there's like a fad diet that's been going around a lot recently on my For You page, the carnivore diet. Let's talk about it. 'Cause how do you feel about the carnivore diet?
Well, I mean, in all fairness, I really don't like to judge or comment on things that I've never done myself. But with that being said, I'm not a huge fan of encouraging or promoting things that haven't really been around a long time. And like you said, it's a fad. And I personally need to see longer term success and outcomes from these types of diets in order to give them fair attention. I'm an old school guy, and I believe in balance. I believe in the foods that, were in the Word that really are good for our bodies and in our brains. And I'm all about high protein, complex carbohydrates, high fibrous carbohydrates, not refined, not high sugar, not ultra processed, but things that come from the ground, things that are going to help your digestive system, nuts, seeds, things that are good for the organs in our body. Now, they say that these meat diets are good for your organs, but again, I just go back to how long has this been around, and what is the data saying about people who are on these diets long term? I don't think it's been around long enough to really judge. So
I tried to do like a little bit of research on it because I was curious about it. And I'm not going to lie, like I gained some of those aspects that I found. But there's not a lot to back it up. There's no scientific nature that's just like 100% on it. So I'm kind of like, at first it was just like a process of elimination because I had been consuming so many sugars, so many carbs, and it really inflames my body. Like right now, I feel extremely inflamed. Like I'm going to be honest with y'all, the audience. I'm going to be honest. I feel extremely inflamed because I know I've been consuming complex refined sugars and things like that. I've been doing it. I know I see it. I put it in my mouth. I know. So I kind of know it's me doing it.
Right.
So I've never like negated from that fact, but it's just a lot of the foods that we have today are geared towards addiction on sugar. And it's like, I never knew how much it was an addiction until I started to take it away. I knew it was a problem when I had been on, like, it was like a weekend. Like, I had just started cutting it out. I was like literally shaking at my desk. Like, I would have done anything for any type of sugar.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is not healthy. There's no way. Like,
Right.
how can something that's supposed to be okay for us make me feel like this? And it literally was a wide, like, a reality check. Like, hey, all the stuff that you like to consume, this is what it can do.
Yeah.
And you don't see that until you take it away.
Yeah.
Because they say, like, process of elimination will teach you about your body the most, because you start to see what effects it has. And, like, I know for a fact that the muffins that I like, it's really just the muffins. I'm not even gonna lie. The muffins, the breads, all of that, it does it to my body. It inflames me to the point where clothes start fitting really tight. I can gain no weight necessarily, but it'll be just the inflammation, the water retention, the way my body's reacting to it. So what kind of diet would you recommend somebody try for an overall, like, good health journey?
Right. Yeah, I think that one of the most important macronutrients is going to be protein. There's a lot of data, there's a lot of evidence that's coming out now saying that protein is not just for building muscle.
Yeah.
It's for a variety of different benefits for the body. It's helpful to the brain. It's going to allow you the best opportunity to have longevity. And, you know, you can't build muscle if you're not eating enough protein.
Yeah.
So long term, you're looking at the benefits around protein being that early mortality. You're going to have a less likelihood of that.
Yeah.
With a higher protein diet and building muscle. I would also encourage people to really emphasize leafy greens, you know, greens that are leafy, dark, the pigment. You want that pigment to be dark because those are antioxidant properties. Fruits, you know, you have a lot of people who are saying that fruit's bad for you because of the sugar, but we're not talking about a Jolly Rancher. We're talking about something that has polyphenols, you know, different vitamins, different phytonutrients for the body that are going to help with, you mentioned, inflammation. So it's not the same thing as eating candy or ultra processed carbs. And then again, nuts and seeds, high in magnesium. These things are helpful for our brain, helping combat depression and stress. And these things are helpful to inflammation in the body. So all of these things coupled together, in my opinion, should be the focus of somebody who's first starting out. Now, the degrees and the amounts and the portions are going to be unique to the individual, but you want to make sure that that's your foundation. High protein, high fibrous carbohydrates, nuts, seeds. And I think from there, you'll really start to feel better. You'll start to hear better. You'll start to see better. And they say that food becomes your personality. You know,
Yes,
so
sir.
if you
sir.
are, they say you are
what you eat. Yep.
So if you eat a high sugar, ultra processed diet, you're going to be overly emotional.
Yeah.
You're going to be sad. You're going to be depressed more. But if you prioritize these foods that I just mentioned, you'll have more energy. You'll feel more motivated. You'll feel more encouraged. You'll see better. Your skin will be better. So those are the foods that I would say to prioritize and start out with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and that's what I miss the most about, like, the way that I was. And I know this is like a major impact. So if y'all are or have been on a fitness journey before, when you revert back, it's like you got hit with a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
And you really have to sit there, like you said at the beginning, you have to sit there with yourself.
Yeah.
And do the hard part.
Right.
And the hard part is addressing yourself. Like, hey, ain't nobody else putting this in your mouth.
Yeah.
You doing it to you.
Yeah.
So what we about to do? Like, that's
And why?
literally, yes.
Why?
Like, why do we feel like it's okay?
Yeah.
And I literally, like, I haven't been able to sleep. There's so many things that have been thrown off by the way that I've been eating. And they say it all the time. And I know you heard it. You can't outwork a bad diet.
Yeah.
And I'm just really at this place where I don't want to outwork a bad diet. I want to go back to what I was doing. Yeah. And it's not that I can't. It's that I wasn't trying to do it. Like, I was giving myself every excuse. Like, I made an excuse as to why I can't go to the gym yesterday. I should have went to the gym.
Yeah.
But today, after we're done here, I'm going to the gym tonight. I made it to where I have no excuse.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand when I say like burn your bridges, like really give yourself no excuses. And every time you get up and you're like, I have this excuse, this reason, because mine was I'm tired. I had a long day, a long week. I need to sleep. I need to rest. My body says I need to rest.
Right.
But in reality, it's just my laziness. And we were talking about this off camera. There is a difference between being busy and just being lazy. Like, I have time. If I have time to be on social media, I have time to be in the gym.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, that's what I used to go by too. It's like, I have time to pick up my phone for drama. Then I have time to pick up my car and go to the gym and spend an hour at least in the gym.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what do you find is like the biggest issue for people actually making it to their workouts?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think I wanted to kind of piggyback off of the lazy part that you mentioned.
Okay.
And I personally have a interesting perspective around laziness.
Okay.
I don't really see it as laziness.
You don't?
I see it as a lack of goals.
Yeah.
I see it as a lack of drive around what it is that you're actually trying to achieve.
Okay.
And what I find is that people who either are called lazy or who think that they're lazy or in a period and season of laziness, they usually have to reassess and they have to restructure and really get in tune with what is it that I want out of this, and then get as specific as possible. How many days can you realistically commit to this process?
Yeah.
And you've got to be real about it. You know, you mentioned that you got promoted. Is it realistic to go to the gym 6 days a week? You know,
No,
is it
but
realistic to
3 is
do
realistic.
3 hours? Yeah.
3
yeah.
days out of the week, because I only work 14 days out of every 2 weeks. So I have at least 3 days to do it.
Yeah.
I just, when I tell you I make up every excuse, I made it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially now. And to go, even my trainer was like, hey, are you okay? I was like, no, mentally I'm not okay. Like, I just am stressed out.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just don't know where to find the motivation to come back yet. Like, it used to be, I just want to be healthy. Now, right, like in this moment, I feel like I just don't want to be inflamed.
Right.
Like, I don't want to feel like I feel right now. And it's like, my clothes fit tighter. I'm not comfortable in this. Like, it's just.
And what does
that.
what does being inflamed lead to? You
It's
know what
just,
I mean?
Yeah, that too.
Like,
because it's not good for your body to be that
yeah,
inflamed. Because
and-
if you're inflamed on the outside, what's going on the inside?
Right. And what people don't know is inflammation over the course of time, too much of it can lead to disease. You know? So I think getting really, like I said, deep with it.
Yeah.
You know, okay, well, I don't want to be inflamed.
No.
Or not.
I want to
know?
be able to run around with the kids.
Yeah.
Like, we got plans to go jump at a jump house. Like, I want to be able to run around. I don't want to be one of those people that are like, oh my God, I can't breathe.
Right.
Hold on.
Right.
Give me a minute. Like, I'm trying to play with the kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, keep up with the kids.
Yeah.
Run around faster than the kids. But at this point, I can honestly say I'm pretty worried, like, that I wouldn't be, you know, out of breath going up and down the slides.
Right. And that's not fair to them.
No, because they just want to, the whole point is to have a good experience. And they can't really have that great of an experience if I'm over here like, hold on, wait, give me a minute. Because now they're waiting for me. And I'm like, the whole purpose was for y'all to have a good time. Y'all waiting for me.
Yeah, I think you're saying really good things.
Yeah.
I think that you're listing all of the reasons why you need to do it.
Yeah.
The next part is the execution.
Yeah, that's where we're at. And I'm really good at executing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have made it to the position that I'm at if I wasn't good at executing. It's just some reason, like when I did the transition, my mental state for the gym and fitness overall just went. And like, I know it. And it may be relevant and recent. So I'm just like in the fresh zone of it.
Yeah.
And I just set all these goals for myself. So it's like me trying to redefine the why. Because it used to be like the why is just for me to feel good. And now I want to feel good again. So I'm like, we got to get there.
Yeah.
How can I do this and make this work for me?
Right.
That's the most important thing right now. Because I got to make it to where I don't have the excuses that I'm putting myself through right now. It's just nobody to blame. Like, what do you do when you have nobody to blame but yourself? And you know that.
Yeah.
It's just hard to come to terms with that. I'm doing this myself.
Yeah.
Like, you got to get it together.
Right. Who's holding you accountable outside of the gym?
Me and my trainer. That's it. But she don't really hold me accountable. It's just me.
Yeah. I think it's important, and, this can couple with the question you asked me earlier about getting back into it. I think when you're at the gym, would you say you feel better while you're there?
Yes.
Right.
I feel amazing when I'm there.
Right?
Yes.
So I think that where people really fall short is they're lacking that away from the gym. If you know you're successful with the support, why not try to create more of it outside of where you're successful with the support?
Yeah.
So I find that most people's issues are outside those gym doors.
Yeah.
Getting there, once they're there, they have the trainer there. They have the other people clanking the weights, striving for their goals. There's like minds in that space.
Yeah.
But when you leave, it kind of feels like you're by yourself.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like the support kind of fades a little bit. So my encouragement is to build a strong army and a community of people that are going to hold you accountable outside of the gym. That way you feel like you're not just disappointing you, but you also disappointing them.
And I care about them.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm starting to do. Like I just told, one of my friends that I see her every day. And I'm like, hey, when I come back from Houston, like we need to lock in. Like I need you to help me and me help you.
Right.
So like she's going to start going to the gym with me and all this stuff because I do better, and most people do, when we are in a group setting. And this is somebody I see every day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for us not to be there, it's gonna have to be both of us saying no at the same time. But even then, it's like maybe I should go get my mans involved because I need to make sure that I do this. It's like it's affecting me, and I cannot, like last night I could not sleep, and it's been like this for ever since I got promoted. It's been no sleep, feeling like I'm failing in this aspect, and I'm just like I'm succeeding in that one. Why am I not doing it this way?
Yeah.
So I kind of need to. You're right. I need to recruit my army for this because hey, I need some help because damn.
Yeah, right. And I think too, just having that person in that community or in that group that's really locked in and who has did it before.
Yeah.
We have trainers for that reason, right? But the trainers don't sleep with us.
No.
They're not in the kitchen with us.
She can't.
They're not at home with us. So again, it's you by yourself.
Yeah.
I think just finding somebody who's been there before and who has done it that can relate to your situation, who's going to be consistently providing that support. Then you have some people who live with partners who are doing it. So I know for me, my wife is a trainer. My wife started before me.
Yeah.
So she doesn't even have to say anything to me. We have there's an energy exchange at home. When I come home, dinner's being cooked. There's a healthy meal being cooked. I don't have to say, hey, we shouldn't eat this. We're both locked in together as a unit.
Yeah.
So I think that just like having a partner that's there for support,
need to do it.
Having more friends that are going to do that.
Yeah.
Hey, we can't eat this. Hey, no, we're not going there. No, let's go for a hike.
Partners.
You know what I mean? And it's just over time, you constantly repeat those behaviors and those patterns. Then they become part of your makeup. They become part of your DNA. Now it's harder for you to revert back.
Yeah, because now I don't have the support that I had before. Before my schedule changed, my life changed. I had like people right there with me, would text me in a group chat and be like, "Hey, did you go work out today?"
Yeah.
So, and then I think I was that person for a lot of people. So nobody really like checked in to make sure like, hey, I'm still doing what I'm supposed to be doing. They just assume that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
And it's kind of like I had to sit back, but you're absolutely right. I'm actually, after we're done,
I think we just unlocked something, right?
we've had a breakthrough because when I tell you I've been going through it, it's like I know what it looks like to be a healthier me, and it's like looking in a mirror at an unhealthy me, and I'm just like, what are we doing? Like, hey, wake up. Like I keep telling myself, like, it's time. You gotta do it because if you don't do it, nobody's gonna do it for you.
Right.
And the more time I've been staying out of the gym, I'm getting fed up. I'm like, when I get back, it's me and you. Like, it just has to be.
Yeah.
And it's not that my partner's not supportive of that. We're just on opposite schedules. So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
he doesn't have 24/7 surveillance of what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the times the shit that I'm doing is away from him. So it's
Yeah,
like, I
yeah,
don't care.
yeah,
It is what
yeah.
it is. It just goes to the wind.
Right.
But I do want to be respectful of your time.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any last advice you would like to give to the audience?
Yeah, I would say to, number one, keep your faith.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mentioned before, I am a man of faith, and I'd be sitting here discrediting God if I didn't say that all of the seasons that I've experienced,
Mm-hmm.
whether high or low, peaks or valleys, that God wasn't responsible for my growth in those seasons. And I would just say to understand that every part of your life is a season. There's a season for gain. There's a season for loss.
Yeah.
But during that time, don't focus on the hardship. Focus on the lesson. Focus on the blessing. And I think if you have that mindset and you're locked in that way and you're keeping God at the forefront, you'll develop and grow through those seasons, and the outcome will always be in your favor. So focus on mental health, keep God first, and I don't think you can lose with that approach. So,
Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for your advice. Thank you for unlocking my mental state that I've
Yeah.
been in. I've been in a real tough grid.
Yeah.
And hopefully not hopefully, but I will take all advice to heed. So y'all, my personal people, y'all get ready. Y'all get ready because we locked in. We got to be locked in.
right.
As always, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching. I will link all of his information down below. And I forgot to do this. Tell the people where to find you, please.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Branden Henderson Coach, and Branden is spelled with an E. So
Yeah.
Branden Henderson Coach. I'm on Threads. I'm on Facebook. I'm always giving out good tips and encouragement and some hard truth. So if that is something that you need, you can find me there.
And unlocking difficult mental states. So get it together. But yes, as always, like, comment, share, subscribe. I will link all of his information down below. And if you need a transformation in your life, it's okay. You don't have to tell me, but you can tell him. Thank you guys for being here. Bye.